Another sports sponsorship from a crypto company ending prematurely, and just the latest sign that some of the highest flying companies in crypto got a bit too close to the sun and found themselves poorly positioned for when the good times end. This time, it's Amber Group, a Singapore-based trading firm, who terminated a sponsorship deal with the well-known Chelsea FC, which is football for those in Europe and soccer for those of us in the U.S. In addition to ending the sponsorship, the Sequoia capital-backed group is also cutting its workforce by nearly in half, currently sitting at about a third of its peak headcount. And there are rumblings on Twitter that things could actually get even worse for the company based on some on-chain sleuthing. Zach, do you think that we'll be seeing any of these big dollar sports sponsorships still standing by the end of this cycle? Or was it just a really bad idea all along and it's taken this long for us to figure it out?
I mean, soccer teams such as Sporting Portugal should just stick with the sports betting sponsorships. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. So definitely sports teams the world over are turning to some of these fields where the money was flowing pretty immensely during the good times. Some of these will withstand the crypto winter. I'm convinced that some will last. Others will go the way of FTX, which famously put its name on the Miami Heat arena in Miami, Florida. And before you know it, that was all up in smoke. So, yeah, we've seen some reports that Inter Milan, which is another soccer club, was not getting payments from Digital Bits, which signed a deal that was reported to be worth $100 million last September. I believe that was announced. So certainly some of these deals that were announced in heady days are crumbling under the weight of crypto winter. I think some will persist, obviously. Others, not so much. And I think you're right. Like a lot of these splashy, high-profile spends, they may have not ultimately delivered much return on investment, unless, although a lot of people were doing it. Crypto.com certainly spent a lot of money on various sports sponsorships. To date, all those are still standing. So I think some will last. Others, not so much. And you're seeing this with Amber, which may have bigger problems on its hands. And I'll toss to Will for some thoughts on that.
Yeah, the sports stuff is definitely relevant, but I think the on-chain sleuthing here is also notable. We saw a lot of on-chain sleuthing help inform the decisions on Celsius, Voyager, FTX, and other firms over the last year. And it's continuing right now with Amber Group. According to a nice tweet from Looks On Chain, they said that only a few $1 million in their bank accounts are on chain. Of course, Amber Group is denying this, saying that there is business as usual and that you can still process withdrawals. But I think it's just notable to point out that this mix between being a CeFi company and a DeFi company lends yourself to being investigated by on-chain sleuths who can just go look at your addresses, go look at your Ethereum account or your Bitcoin wallets and see if you have the funds to pay out. And this comes after they just laid off about 300 employees as well, right? So people can look into your business in a way that has never been possible before and make decisions on if they really want to be involved with you as a group. Of course, this was denied, so we don't really know what's happening at the moment, but definitely follows up on a pattern that we've seen continuing over the entire year, where people put a lot of money up for marketing, didn't pan out, and then all their treasury and reserves were drawn out and they went bankrupt or had to restructure. Hopefully that's not occurring here. We don't have any information if that is the case, but definitely notable. Zach, I'll give it to you though, as we get close to wrapping up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see. I don't know if the contagion is over yet. Obviously, several prominent firms have gone under. It's hard to speculate and really not fair to speculate on which is next, but, there could be further, I guess boats that are taken out with the tide or whatever that metaphor is when the good times head back out to sea. But yeah, maybe the sports sponsorship is the least of these worries as these firms seek to retain their solvency and seek to continue providing services to crypto investors worldwide. Adam, you got any last thoughts on this one?
I think it's been a really interesting year. I think it's been, it's
understatement.
It's been
understatement of the year.
It is an understatement. It's been an intense year, right? We started the year really not knowing where kind of all of this was going. Some warning signs, but we'd seen that before. And I think it's another lesson again in the need for humility and the need to, kind of just like play the cards that you're dealt, but appreciate that probably things are going to change. And I also think that, again, I'm no fan of any of kind of the big players in this space personally, but I think that CZ over at Binance has come out of this looking the best of really anybody else in kind of the industry as far as these very well capitalized large exchanges. And I'm very curious to kind of see what the next round of plays that comes out of that side of the world wind up being. So yeah, no, it's been a heck of a year.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. CZ looking good based on what's known. Who knows? Maybe there's some
Who knows though?
deep, dark secrets out there that have yet to come to light.